Welcome back to TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop. How are we all, fellas? I see we've got a few early ones in tonight for the casting stream. Let me just pull up the chat. So we've got T-Man in there. Welcome back, T-Man. We've got Sam in there. We've got Brett in there. We've got Amber. Jax. Welcome. Welcome everybody. Welcome. How are we all? How's your day been? You having a good day? No turning today. No turning today. Or tonight I should say. We're only going to be doing a little bit of casting tonight. So T-Mans will be first off the bat, and I'd also just like to thank T-Man for becoming the new Patreon on the TF Custom Shaving Brushes Patreon page. Thanks very much, mate, for your support. It's very much appreciated. You will get some discounts and stuff along the way being a patron now, and unfortunately you just done it a little bit too late for me to get your name up in lights on the screen that I have set up to put up on the screen. So talking of that, we'll do that now and we'll get that one done. So we'll put up the Patreons page. Your name will get added to this T-Man, so I'll put you up there, and if you've got a particular colour you like, let me know and I'll put your name up in that colour. How's that sound? But anyway, thanks to these guys here, Patreons, or patrons I should say, of TF Custom Shaving Brushes. Thanks guys, and thanks everybody else in there as well. Really is appreciated. I really appreciate the support, fellas. Or guys and gals as I should say. So very much appreciated. So tonight we're going to do some casting. So let me get my little pad out and I'll tell you what we're going to be doing. Providing we've got enough time to do them all. We should have though, I think. But we'll see how we go. It's not a rush night tonight. This is a nice cruisy relaxing night tonight. Like I said, no turning tonight, just a bit of casting. So we'll be playing around with colours and just mixing up some epoxy resin. So the first one off the rank is going to be the gold and black one, which is going to be T-Man's second handle. So we're going to mix that gold and black one up. We'll put a few different golds. I've got a few different golds on the table here, and we've got a little bit of black Pearl-X carbon black here. So we'll mix that one up first up, and I'm going to put, like I said, 2 or 3 different colours of gold in it just to give it a little bit of a look. It should look quite nice actually, but predominantly it'll be the brilliant gold with a little bit of black dropped in as well. Then I've got a blue and gold, so we're going to go for a really bright blue. So the bright blue I'm thinking of will be either a true blue, or it could be this one here, which is deep blue sea, diamond deep blue sea. So it's got a bit of sparkly in it, but you know, we'll see. I might play around, I might change that, because I do have another one there called True Blue, and I might use that one. So that one will be a blue and gold one. And then I've got another one which will be black, green and purple. So we're going to give that one a crack as well. So we'll use the purple for that, which will be this one. And we'll mix in a bit of green, and then a bit of black as well for that one, and we'll see how we go with that one. Okay, and I might even put a little bit of fluoro in this one as well, and the green in this one. We'll see how we go with that. And then I've got another one which is a little bit of a mix of colour. The fella sent me a photograph, and the photograph is like something out of a winter scene. And if you can just imagine the Snow Peak Mountains in the background, and then all the trees with sort of goldy, silvery grey colours through them, with snow sitting on the branches, and then the water like a little lake below that, and it's a real bluey green. So that one I'm leaving till last because it's going to have quite a few colours in it, that one, and I may have to play with colours as well to change the colours. So we'll see how we go with that one. I might have to get a little bit more time on that one, but we'll give it a crack. We'll see if we can get in there and we'll do it. So there'll be, like I said, a lot of colours in that one, and I will have to play with colours to try and get the right colour that I want. And I can probably refer back to the picture as well. I've got the picture on my phone, so I can refer back to that and have a bit of a look. But the colours I was looking at in that were sort of like a bluey green with, you know, like a light blue, and then obviously the white, and then the gold, and maybe gold and silver, a little bit of gold for shade, and then a bit of silver in there. That's like the branches of the trees and stuff, with maybe a little touch of a light brown or a little touch of black through it, just to pop some of the other colours and that. But anyway, we'll see how we go with that. Like I said, that one will be the last one because it will need a bit of time and a bit of playing around with colours to try and get that to happen. I've got the pressure pot set up to the side of me here, so you can just see that in shot. I've still got the GoPro set up as well, but the GoPro's sort of, you know, it's dark compared to the other pictures, and it's still been flickering a little bit. So the quicker I can get another Sony Handycam on shot here, the better, I think. But we'll see how we go with that one. So I've already done some preparation. I've already pre-marked cuts to the correct measurements. As you'll see there, I've got a couple of Nico marks on there, black Nico marks. That's just to give me my 3:1 ratio for the resin, and hopefully that'll work for us. I've got some moulds already taped up, ready to go here on the table, and I've got additional ones here that I cut whilst I was preparing these ones as well. So we're well in advance. Okay. Grey Dog, we've got Grey Dog in as well. Geez, everybody's getting in early tonight. Ryan, how are you, buddy? We've got Razor in now. Good, good. So we're just getting all the introductions out the way, eh? Geez, Sam, you're getting quick, don't you, mate? Yeah, the merch is underway, but it's not going to happen for probably another 2 or 3 weeks with the artwork, because the fella that's doing the artwork for me is a friend at Anthony's, and he's kind of busy at the moment, but he is going to do it. So I've sent him all the specs for the artwork that I require for the merchandise, and then basically he'll send that back to me, obviously once he's got that all done, and I'll need to tick it off to say that I'm happy with that, and then basically from there we can go to town on it, and I can put all that in place. Basically, once the artwork gets put up, as far as I'm aware at this stage, as soon as I put the artwork up, then the merchandise will be basically readily available after that. There will be certain stipulations on that with regards to the merchandise though, and because it'll all be done through the Patreon page, I think there'll be certain tier levels that you've got to meet, and then you'll have to be a patron. I think there'll be specifications on that. Something like some of the t-shirts, say for example, you might have to be a patron for say 3 months, and then once you've been a patron for 3 months, then you'll get awarded the t-shirt, or you know, a coffee mug, or whatever the case may be. But I've still got to sort a lot of the details out for that yet. So until we're ready to go with that, I'm really going to leave it for, let it take its course now, you know, until we get the artwork and we can get it sorted. And then once I get it all sorted, I'll give you more information on it, okay? So anyway, let's get on with some casting. So I've got everything ready here, so I'm just going to start pouring some resin. So just bear with me as I pour. There's nothing really changes here. It's much the same as some of my other casting videos that I've put up so far. I'm not going to do multiple pours at the same time. I'm just doing my usual one pour at a time. So I'll do all my colours for this pour, and then we'll pour this one when it's ready to pour, and then we'll do the next one, and we'll move on like that, okay? So that's my 3 parts. And then this is my single part, part B. That's that part, and that should be if I've got my measurements right, that should be enough just to fill that mould. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, so we're just going to mix this really well now. Nice, yeah, I think I spoke to you, Jax, about the scented soaps, or somebody else might have mentioned as well. But I know that a lot of the soaps are sort of like what you would term unisex, I suppose, where they're made for men and women. But one of the guys might have dropped you some notes after. So I've got the air and everything's all set up, guys, as well. So it's really just a case of pouring the resin, mixing the resin, and then pouring this into my colours that I'm going to be doing, and how much colour I want. And then pour it into the mould, get it in the pressure pot, pump it with air, and then get on to the next one. So you're probably not seeing an awful lot in that shot. Let me take you to the side-on shot there. You probably see a bit more of what's going on there from that shot there, hopefully. Now, some of those handles that are turned of recent times, like the Surf's Up ones and the Amboina burl handles that I turned for Surgeon, I finished them completely today. I've put the engraving on them. I'll maybe post up a picture of a couple of pictures that I took of the engravings. I'll put them up on the Patreon page either later tonight or early tomorrow. So any of the patrons will be able to go and have a look at them as well, just to show you what the engraving work's like that I do as well. So that'll let you see a little bit of that for a change as well. Just like to show you some of the different things that's happening behind the scenes. That's all we need. So we're going to have gold in this one, T-Man, is your one. So like I said, predominantly you're going to have more of the bright gold, because that's a really brilliant bright gold. And I'm going to drop in a couple of other golds just to put a little bit of a difference in the colour in them, and then the black will get put in as we get nearer the top of the mould, so that you get that drizzle of black down through the gold colour. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just take the excess resin off the mixing stick. And like I said, hopefully I've got my measurement right, that I've got enough to put in the mould. Even if it falls, you know, 2 or 3 millimeters short of the top of the mould, that's still fine, because you know, I can still grab that in the chuck when it goes on the lathe, and I can still make that work, you know. So we're going to have a lot less black than what we are the golds. So I'm going to pour some of this into here, and I only want a fairly small amount, because I'm just going to drizzle that black in on top of the gold later, and then I'm going to put a fair amount in this one, of a different gold, and then the same in this one, which will be one of the other golds. And I'll tell you what the colours are on them in a minute. Just give me a second till I get this all organised, because I've only got so much time to work with this as well. All right, so this big one is going to be the Brilliant Gold, which is this one here. So this one's going to be the Brilliant Gold, and I'm going to put in probably about that much, if you can see that. Maybe a tad more. And then that'll be that one. Now I can put that one away, because we won't need that again. And then I'll put a little bit in, this is called Aztec Gold, so it's a darker gold, this one. But again, once they all get into the mold together, you'll see what will happen there anyway. It's just to give it a little bit of dimension, I guess, because if you put just the one in, that's all you're going to see is just that one colour, and it's nice to have other colours in amongst it. So probably about that much in that one. And we can get rid of that one. So that one was Solar Gold. So this one's the Solar Gold. This one is the Aztec Gold, and this is Brilliant Gold. And then the lucky last one will be the black one. The Onkyo box, that's just a box with a whole heap of bits and pieces of computers and electronic boards and switches and cables and all sorts of different things that I used when I was building my CNC lathe. My CNC router, when I built them. I built 2 of them in this workshop. Long time ago though, but I've since sold that. It was a CNC router, big one. It was about 3 meters long and about 2200 wide, and I built 2 of them in here, big steel, heavy duty steel CNC routers. But then I sold it probably about a year or so ago. I wasn't using it and it was too good to have sitting here not being used, so I decided to move it on and sold it. Now with these, it's important that we make sure we mix the powder through the resin and that we get a good mix. We don't want any pockets of powder in the resin because that can stay as powder in the blank, and then when you turn it you can end up with little bubbles. And the reason we pressure cast is to avoid having bubbles in the blanks as well. Now some people do just cast resin, just pour it in the mold and let it sit, or they'll sit it on top of say the table of their bandsaw and turn the bandsaw on and use it like a vibrator, and then what that will do is it will vibrate and the bubbles will float to the top of the resin. There's all sorts of things you can do, but casting them under pressure means that you're forcing the air out. Or compressing it, or however you want to look at it. Now some powders, these ones so far are all Pearl X, so they're quite a fine powder and they mix in with the resin fairly easily. Where you do get some powders, pigments that are like mica powders, some mica powders, that are quite coarse, so they don't break down as quickly in the resin. And that's when you can have issues with the pockets of powder if you don't thoroughly mix it. But the Pearl X powders tend to mix very well. So I'll sit that one there as well, and you'll get to see these colours when I change to the overhead shot, hopefully. Hopefully you'll get to see them then. And like I said, this is T-Man's casting for his second handle. So we've got to make him a chameleon hybrid yet, which I've got a casting there that I think I might try and turn, and we'll see how that comes up. And failing that, I do have a few other ones there that I cast some time ago, but failing that, I'm going to cast a fresh one with a nice fresh piece of barrel, and go through the chameleon process and everything as well. But I'll see, the one I've got there is quite nice, but I'm just unsure if I'm going to get the diameter out that I need to do a chubby style like how I normally do them, or similar to Razor's one. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, but at least if I get this one done and out the way. And like I said, I've got a few other ones there to do. So let me take you to the overhead shot now, and you'll see those colours on the table. They are a little bit blown out, but you can see the different shades of gold. So this one's the bright silver, this one was the Aztec, and this one was the solar gold. Okay, and then we've got the carbon black here, which will be the last one that we'll put in when we start pouring them into the mould. Yeah, I mean, you've just got to get familiar with the powders that you use. Is it Jack's or is it Amber? Amber. Amber, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of different brands and different types of powders, which you know, can be totally different to the Pearl X. But if they're generally, you'll find that if they're a really fine micron size, that they'll blend into the resin much easier and quicker than what some of the micas and some of the other pigments will do. I have paste pigments as well, and then I have the transparent pigments in all different colours. That's what this little box is here, they're transparent. So if we get to that last one, we might actually use some of them in that as well. So that's what I was thinking of using for the greeny blue water, for the like. And then obviously mix that in with some other colours, and then obviously work up to the trees and then up to the mountains, to the sky. So it's just a case of trying to get the right colours though. So as you can see here, all I'm doing is I'm going back through them to make sure that we've got no... What tends to happen with the Pearl X's is that if you've missed any powder mixing, it tends to float back to the top after a little while. And if you see those little, you know, puddles of powder on top, you can give them another bit of a mix up. I tend to go through this and keep mixing until I actually think I'm ready to start pouring, to be honest. And then I start, you know, once I think they're right, I'll start to pour. Now obviously my mix amounts, I wanted the brilliant gold to be the main colour, so I've left more of that if I take that and show you in camera too again. So, you know, there's more resin in that one, okay. Then there's less than what was in the plastic cup in this one, but as you can see, it's probably slightly more than this one. And then for the black, we've only got a very small amount, because the black's very, very overpowering, and it will actually take over and blend into the other colours and make them dark if we use too much black. So we only want a little bit of black. And the other thing is, because the quantities of the resin are different as well, you can find that some will start to go off quicker than others. So you've got to watch, you know, each one individually as well, because you know, you might have one that's really runny, and if you're gauging it by that one, the other ones could possibly go off then. So you got to be careful that you don't go past that point, you know. No worries, Sam, we'll see you when you get back, buddy. And continually mixing like this too, make sure that you're mixing the resin properly as well, you know, the part A, part B. Although that was done pretty much when I first poured them into the cup, but the more mixing you can do, the better. The only thing it means is you know, the more mixing you do, the more bubbles you put into the resin, but by putting it under pressure in the pressure pot, it forces them all out again, so it's no big deal. Now see, this one feels thicker for whatever reason, so that's going to be one of the ones we're going to have to watch, or that could possibly start to gel on us sooner. This one's a little bit thicker too, but not as thick as the other one, the darker gold. And typically I've always found that black seems to take a long time. It stays thin for a long, long time. I don't know why, but I've always found the black to be a real slow setter for some reason. Yeah, much the same, Amber. I had a lot of my pigments prior to doing the shaving brushes, because I used to do pens for a number of years, and I had all the pigments for that, so it was an easy transition, obviously with the resin and the pigments as well, from pens to making shaving brush handles, you know. What resins do you use over there, Amber? Alumilite? That seems to be a real popular one in the States. So there you can see all the colours. Yeah, Alumilite, yeah. Yeah, this is a two-part resin. It's a 3-to-1 mix. It's a slow set epoxy resin. I mean, we've got a lot of different resins over here, but we don't get Alumilite over. Well, you can get Alumilite, but you pay an arm and a leg for it. So most people over here just use epoxy resins. Initially, my first start into resins was obviously with polyester, but the polyester is just so toxic and so smelly that it's great to be working with the epoxies because there's no smell comes off it at all. I'll need to remember and get more paper towels. I think I'm down to my last, yeah, that's my last roll in the workshop here, so I'll need to get more on the weekend. I mean, really, I could probably start more colours off for the next cast, which would be the blue and gold. But, you know, I don't want to have too many different pots on the table because then you get mixed up with what you're pouring and you've got all the more things that can go wrong. So I tend to just concentrate on one at a time. And once you get them to that point, then it's no big deal to go the next step, you know. But what I will do is I'll pour part A into one of these cups now, and we'll pour part B in later when we're ready. So at least we've got a head start. Yeah, I think this one's got about a 40 minute open time on this one, Amber. Normally just drips one drip and then it goes, but it's not doing it tonight. So I'll leave that sit to the side now. That's the next one ready to go. And we'll just give this another check. I can feel we're starting to get a little bit of warmth in the cup now. So it's obviously starting out. I mean, a lot of people use a handheld thermometer, like an infrared thermometer, and they monitor the temperature, and then once it hits a certain temperature, then they know they can pour. But I just tend to do it by the feel of the resin. Sometimes, you know, occasionally I will get it wrong, but not very often. But occasionally I'll get it wrong, and it will start to gel on me too soon. And you're only lucky if you can get it into the mould in time before it actually just solidifies on you. That's when it goes wrong, and these things do happen. So I'll tell you, Amber, you may be able to source this one in the States. If you look up, I think they're called Just Resin. I don't know where they are in the States, but I'm sure they've got an Australian dealership here in, they've got an Australian one supply business here in, I'm not sure whether, they're down south, I know that much, but I'm not sure which state, whether they're in New South Wales, Australia, or Victoria. I'm not sure. I can find out for you if you wanted to, but I'm sure they've got an American branch as well, but I'm just not sure whereabouts. But if you look up Just Resin, you may find them. Just Resin or JR Resin, one of the two. They go by both names. And I'm presuming they'd have the same products that they sell here as to what they have in the States. It is probably a little bit more expensive than some of the other resins here. There is a lot of other resins that people are using here that are a bit cheaper, but I've found the resin is quite good, so I've kind of stuck with it, you know. But you do pay a little bit more for it. Yeah, Total Boat's another one I've seen in the States. Actually, I was watching some videos today, a fella that was doing like a wooden arm type thing, and that's what he was using. He was using Total Boat's resin. Okay, I'm going to start pouring this now because this plastic cup is actually starting to get quite warm. The resin stove feels a little bit thin. Not as thick as I would normally like it, but like I said, it's not about, with this one here, it's not about stopping the colours mixing together too much. It's just the case of getting a little bit of variety in the handle so it's not all one colour. So, I'll open this cloth up and we'll just pour on here so I don't get resin all over the place. It's fairly restricted on this little board, but look, it does the job for the videos, and it saves me having to relocate everything all the time, so and we'll just get rid of these sticks as well. And we'll get rid of these ones. I just hope I got my mounts right. And you'll notice I want the black coming down from the top of the handle, so I'm not pouring the black in at this point in time. I'm going to utilise most of the golds up, and then once I get up to that last part of the top, then I'll start putting in the black, and hopefully the black will just sort of filter down and give us that sort of streaky look down through the gold. And I'm also going to keep the darker gold for the top now as well, mostly, and pour the lighter gold in to the lower section. If there's any questions coming in, I'm sorry I can't answer them when I'm pouring, because if I leave this too long, the resins will go off on me. So I've got to keep pouring. And that is starting to just slightly gel now. Not quite, it's still pouring, but it's getting there, you know. I might be a little bit light on with my quantity, but we'll see how we go. We've still got a little bit to go. So I'll get the last of this in there now. Bearing in mind I've still got the black to go in, and I've still got the remainder of that darker gold to go in as well, because I do want the top of the handle to be a little bit darker in colour than the rest of the handle. Okay, so that should do that. Now we'll go with the darker gold now. And I'm just going to drizzle that in and let it settle in its own manner. And now I'm going to get a bit of the black. The black's still thin compared to the other two, but that'll help it just to work its way down in as well. But I'm going to pour this in drizzly along with the last of the dark gold. So we've got a little bit of dark gold in there now. I'm going to put a little bit more in. Then we'll go with a bit of black. Bit more gold. A bit more black. Yeah, we've almost made it to the top, so I'm fairly happy with that. I thought it was going to end up being a fair bit short, but we've got there. And I've still got a little bit of black to drop in there yet. Just in the top. I should be putting on gloves, but I hate wearing gloves. It's the same when I go to the SES, the State Emergency Service, and volunteer in that. And you've got to wear gloves when you go out in activations, but you can't feel, you can't feel the ropes to tie knots. You can't, flick your multi-tool knife blade out or whatever when you got gloves on. So it gets kind of hard, So I tend to take the gloves off. Well, there you go, we almost made it right to the top, so I did get my calculations correct after all. Okay, so that's that one done. We'll get this one in the pressure pot and we'll pump some air in there. Then we can wipe the table clean again and go again. So there's the first one in the pot. We'll put the lid on. know the pressure pot would come in handy at some stage too, but I just have to make do with the one at the moment. And I never took yous over. I mean, it's a crappy shot, guys. I'll take yous over to that one because you can see more of the pressure pot there. It's a crappy shot. The GoPro's flicking on and off. The picture's not the best, but it'll let you see what's going on anyway. Not that there's a lot to see. Okay, so we'll pump a bit of air in there. Make sure it's closed. Now I've got to get this on. There we go. And then I'll just slowly open that valve up. I've got the wrong side of the board up actually. I should have had the other side up because the other side is the side that I've already made a mess on. But it won't matter. It's only MDF. Okay, so that's that one almost there. So that's us on 50 psi. I'll just tuck that along the back there. And we'll go back to camera 2. Alright, now the next cab off the rank, so that's T-Man's handle in the pressure pot. Hopefully that'll go well. Hopefully we'll get that nice mix with the different golds in the main part of the handle, and then the darker as it gets up to near the top, and then obviously the black streaking down from the top down into the rest of the handle. So now the next one is a blue and gold. Okay, so we're going to need the gold out again, and I'm probably going to use the Brilliant Gold for this one. And I'm thinking either the Diamond Blue, or I do have one called a True Blue. Now, let me just see if I can find that one. I've got so many powders in here. Just got to have a look and see if I can find it. That's the jewel. Interference. Can't seem to find it. I know I've got one. Oh, maybe I've used it. Maybe I have used it because I can't see it. I've got a turquoise, and I've got that one, but I'm sure I had a true blue, what was called True Blue. Maybe I'm wrong. Or did I get it out earlier? No, I didn't. Not to worry. Okay, so with this one here, we'll pour our part B in now. We're ready to go. And I'll probably use, that'll be the main colour. And I'll get some gold and a little bit of turquoise blue, I think. Yeah, it's much appreciated, Amber and Grey Dog. It really is, as Razor says there. I mean, it's you know, not everybody that will get up in all hours of the morning to watch somebody live streaming. So yeah, very much appreciated, guys. Yeah, my shop's not air conditioned either, so it gets really stinking hot in here in the summertime. I do have a couple of whirlybirds in the roof to take out the hot air from up top, because the roof's fairly low in my workshop here. But I do have 2 condenser units up against the wall to the side of the, let me go to that screen for a minute. Up against the side wall here, I do have 2 condenser units for the air conditioning in the house, and unfortunately it doesn't work in my favour, so we are going to get them relocated at some stage, because when I'm out here and it's really, really hot, we'll have the air conditioning going in the house, but then the condenser units being out here blow out even more hot air. So it's and then if I'm in here in the winter time, we want to heat the house, because it's reverse cycle. If we want to heat the house, not that we have much coldness here anyway, but if we do have that where we get the really cold nights and we put the aircon on to heat the house, then I can't be in the workshop because it blows cold air out, so I can't win. I'm freezing out here already in the winter, and then you put the aircon in the house to warm the house up and it blows out cold air at this end. So I can't win. It doesn't matter whether it's summer or winter. So the best thing is to leave it off. So yeah, it's the only way, aye. Okay, well that resin's mixed again now, so we can think about what we're going to do with regards to colour and pour. So like I said, this one's just pretty much a bit of a mix of blue and gold in this one, but I'm going to throw in a little bit of turquoise just to give a little bit of a look as well. Just so it's not all one blue, if you get what I mean. So I won't use that there. I'll grab another paper towel. I might even have to duck into the house and grab the grab some kitchen roll from the wife, actually. See how we go. Okay, so I just cleaned that. So I'm going to pour some of this resin into those smaller cups. Now, in actual fact, what I might do, I might change the plan on that one, and I might throw some, might get another plastic cup. And I'll use a bigger pour for a bit of a gold and blue mix, so I'm going to use a slightly larger cup for this one. So that's not too bad. That'll do that. I'll get rid of one of them, and I'll pour a little bit, maybe half of this one, like that, and that'll be for the turquoise blue. This one's still quite a bit less than that one, so I'll take you back to that shot now so you can see a little bit more of what's going on here. So this one will be mainly the gold, okay? This one will be the darker blue, and then this one's going to be the lighter blue. So I'll grab some more paddle pop sticks. 1, 2, we'll probably need a third one. And I'll take some of this blue. This is a beautiful one. This one is really, really sparkly and really deep blue. This is I think this is out of America as well. This is a diamond pigment. So it's actually called Diamond Deep Blue Sea, this one. So that's that one. And we can probably get rid of that one for now. So blue and gold. The other one's going to be the gold. I'll use a dry stick for that one. And we should be able to put that away. And then I'm going to put a little bit of blue into, a little bit of turquoisey blue into this one here. Oh, just had an accident. I just spilt the resin, guys. Dear me. First time I've done that. That's all right. So we'll sit that there. I don't need a lot of the blue anyway, but I just didn't want to make a mess. Okay. Let me clear myself up a little bit here. Get rid of these. We'll fold that one over. And I'll just get the worst of that up. I do like this resin though compared to polyester because it's so much easier to clean up. It doesn't get as sticky like polyester. Polyester gets really sticky and tacky and you can't wipe it off. Whereas this stuff is so much easier to work with. Probably about that much in there. And that'll do that. We'll get rid of that one. All good, all good. The only thing will be if I've got enough resin now. I didn't lose too much, hopefully. Otherwise we could end up just a tad short for the top of that mould. We'll see how we go. Accidents happen, aye, accidents happen. So this is actually quite a nice darkish blue as well, actually. I might even add a little bit of lighter colour to that one. Although it is a fairly different colour to this one, so it might be okay. These castings are all customer blanks, so they're all for handles to be made and just special requests. So normally if I get a special request, if I think it's a little bit of a harder, more complex one, I tell the client that I'll try the colours and no obligation. So if they don't like the colour, once it's been poured. I don't force them into, you know, to buying the blank or you know, buying a handle. They've got to like it before I'll, and in some cases what I'll do is I'll pour it. I'll pour the colours, the requested colours, and then what I'll do is I'll turn it into a handle, and then prior to putting the knot in it, I'll send them some pictures, and if they like it, then the sale goes ahead, and if it doesn't, then I'll still finish the brush and I'll set a knot in it, and then I'll put it on my website and sell it that way. Because there's always somebody else who come along and buy that brush, even though it's not, you know, maybe not to the customer requirements as far as the colour being quite right. But I don't think I've had one that's been rejected yet, in all honesty. But there's always a first. Okay, so this one is, oh yeah, I think it might be alright. I might put a little bit of light powder in that one. I do have a lighter blue, which is this one. So this one's going to be pretty thick with pigment, because it's got a fair bit of pigment in that little amount of resin, but that's alright. So this will lighten this one up a bit. Yeah, that's better. It's got, you know, a much greater shade change in it now in the blue than what the other one is, whereas before I put the light blue in it, it was, you know, very close shade wise. So this one's probably, you know, 3 or 4 shades lighter in blue. Right, I'll just sit that one there for now because that one's fairly mixed. This one's fairly mixed. And we'll just mix up the gold now. So I can still see in this gold one, when I spin it round on the edge of the cup, I can still see little clumps of pigment. So until they're gone, I just got to keep mixing it, you know. I can see they're getting smaller and smaller, so. In fact, I think they're pretty much gone now. And I might even put a little bit more pigment in that one as well. With the diamond, the deep blue sea, might just drop a little bit more pigment in. Because I don't want it too transparent, I mean. So, you know, this one I could have probably got away with just doing the two colours, the gold and the blue. But I think by adding just a small amount of a different blue can sometimes just put some nice little highlights in it, you know. And I think I'm still going to play with that blue. I'm going to put in a little bit of ultramarine blue, just a little bit. Now this is a fairly coarse pigment, this one, but I'll try and pick out the finer stuff. So you'll see I'm spending a lot more time with this one, making sure we've mixed the pigment in, because I'm still seeing little clumps of powder. And I know that ultramarine blue, it's a beautiful colour, but the powder is fairly coarse. It tends to clump as well, so you've really got to make sure that you're mixing it in really well, breaking it off the bottom of the cup, off the sides of the cup, and really making sure that you've got no lumpy bits in there when you're swirling it around on the edge of the cup. Now that's darkened that down quite a bit, which is what I wanted it to do. Now, I'll let that sit for a minute. I'll just go back and check the gold now. The gold's going good. And the light blue should be okay. Yep, that's still going good. Gold's good. Just keep keep mixing away on this one for a little while longer. Nearly there. It's the only bits I'm seeing now are fairly small, but I'll still keep mixing until we get it totally dissolved. And a lot of the time, you know, you can see it squash up against the side of the cup. You've just got to then scrape it off and just get it mixed in. There's nothing worse than turning a blank and you hit pockets of air or pockets of powder, especially when you're getting down to your finish, you know, your finished size for the handle. Because there's not a lot you can do about it. It's good if you can turn it out, but if it's in the finish, near the finished size, there's not a lot you can do. You got to either reject the blank, or sometimes if it's just a little hole, like a little bubble hole, you can actually fill it with, as long as it's clean inside, you can fill it with CA and the hole will just disappear. So all is not lost in a lot of cases. So if you find a little bubble in a casting and it's on your finished surface pretty much, so you can't turn it out, as long as it's clean, so if you can blow it out, if it's got any dust or anything in it, as long as you can blow it out and then drip a little bit of thin CA, or any CA really, into that hole, and then just let it set, and you'll find the hole will disappear basically, even though it's only filled with CA. But the best bet is just to cast with pressure, and then you avoid bubbles and that sort of thing happening. Unless you don't mix properly. My arm's getting sore with mixing that one. We're getting there. We'll be pouring soon. You can start to feel the heat generated in the cup now as well, in the gold. It's amazing how hot the resin gets, that's why you've got to be careful what resin you use, depending on the sizes of your pores as well, because it can generate that much heat within itself that it'll actually crack the resin. So like if you pour a big square block and you're using the wrong resin for it, the heat generated through the curing process can actually crack the block. And do it quite easily with no problems at all. Okay, I think we're getting there. Okay, we'll get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that next. We might as well get rid of that one as well. This one still feels a little bit thinner than the other one, but I'll let it sit for another couple of minutes before I pour. It's starting to get there. Hey, hasn't Sam come back? Okay, I think that'll do that one. This is a little bit thinner than the gold and the other blue, but I think the gold's going to be the one that's going to determine when we pour. It's starting to get there. So we'll bring another mould in. I'll just give my hands a little wipe. So you can see those colours there, okay, in that shot. So we've got the light blue, the dark diamond deep blue cyan, and the bright gold, or brilliant gold I think it's called. So I'll pour a little bit of gold in on the bottom. And we'll drizzle in a little bit of blue and we'll see how that goes. More gold. And I'm going to introduce the light blue once we get up near the top again. Oh, Sam's back. They were all missing you, Sam. Oh, so Daisy, I nearly done it again, didn't I? Now I'm going to start introducing a little bit of the light blue and probably gold. So as you can see there, it's actually starting to thicken up in the cup now. So I'm probably going to have to just scrape out the last of this with a paddle pop stick and just drop it in there before it starts to go right off. So we'll get the gold out first. And then we'll go straight to the deep blue sea one. We'll get the last of that out. It's a lovely colour, this one. And then we'll put in the last of the lighter blue, and that should do that one, I think. So we should have a nice mix of gold and just those different blues in there, hopefully. One of the colours was still a little bit thinner than I would have liked it to be before it started to go, but like I said, you can see how much time you've got. You don't have a lot of time once they start to thicken. It all happens very quickly. Okay, so we'll get rid of these before we make any more mess. And then I think what I'll do is, many more that I say I wanted to do. I've got a blue, green and white that I want to do. Oh no, sorry, black, green and purple is the next one. So we might do one more and then we might call it a night after that, I think, fellas. Where are we? We're an hour and 20, 25 or so far, so it's not too bad. We'll see how we go. Yeah, I'm just not sure how that blue and gold one's going to go, actually. It'll end up being an unknown until I get it out the mold. I think that one. I'm just undoing the pressure pot again. And the first one's already gone off. It's hot though. It's hot. So we'll put this one in. And we'll see how we go with that one now. So we'll get it straight under pressure. And as you'll see, I'm tightening them down opposite each other. That's just so that you try and get it down as evenly as you possibly can. Okay, a bit more here. Back up to 50 psi. A little bit more. There we go, 50. So black, green and purple for the next one. Now this one here, let me just grab that and give that a wipe round the edge so it's not sticky. So you can see this one, if I go to that shot there, there's the top of the gold and black one. And we can't release out the mold today or tonight, but that's it. And it's hard and solid on top now. So one down, one in, and the next one to come. So we'll get the purple, the green, and I need a little bit black as well. So we'll bring the black back out. We'll get another paper towel. And we'll pour another lot of resin, So you can see I've pre-marked the cups. So I've got, that's my three of these little cups, so 30 mil. So that's 90 mil up to there, and then we've got 120 mil up to there at part B. So that gives me my 3-to-1 mix. So it does pay to measure out and get your resin quantities right, so you minimise the amount of resin waste that you have. Because like I said, the resin is not cheap. So if you can minimise your amount of waste and get your measurements right for your different types of moulds, then you're maximising your resin use, you know. And you're also not wasting pigment and colour and all that sort of thing. So with this one here, this one's going to be probably less black and equal parts green and purple. So I will use, well actually I'll use a small cup for the black, and then I'll be able to use one more cup, so we'll have green or purple and the other colour will go in here. And that'll give us our mixed ratios again, because like I said, I don't want a lot of black, I want mainly green and purple. Well, you'd either have waste, so you've got to pour it in another waste cup. I do have cups that I pour into if I have any excess, and then I let that go off and I just keep adding to it. So then I end up with another blank that's the shape of the cup. And then I can either use that, turn it into a handle if it's got nice colours in it, but if there's some horribly colours in amongst it as well, you probably don't want to turn it into a handle. So then what I would do is I would cut that up into little bits, and I would use some of those bits and pieces in my bits and pieces handles that I make. So it's just minimising waste, you know, like I don't have a lot of waste. Most of the waste comes after you start turning the blank. That's when you have all the shavings and the dust and the waste. But some people even try and cast that back into handles. So sometimes you don't get the look from it though, but you know, just means you got no waste. Amber, the inside diameter of the tubes is 42 millimeters, and I find that does most of my handles. But if you want to go to what's called like a chubby type shape, then you need to go to the next pipe up, and the handles need to be a bit wider. Or the blanks need to be a bit wider, because you're going to make the final handle wider, I should say. No, my shavings go in the bin, Sam. My dust and stuff that comes off when I turn just goes in the bin. I've seen some people recycle it, but I've never liked the outcome that they've achieved from putting it back into resin. So like all the resin streamers that you get off, some people when they've got coloured streamers, they've tried casting that in resin, but I've never been happy with the look that they've achieved, so I haven't bothered. I've got no interest in doing it. It doesn't look nice. So I only reuse set, hard, coloured resin, whether it be in little bits and pieces or larger chunks or whatever. I only reuse that, but I don't worry about streamers and wood shavings and stuff. Alright, I think we've got that mixed enough now. Correct, yes. There's not a lot else you can do with it. But the waste's fairly minimal from a handle blank. Most of the material is in the handle. You're only turning a small amount of waste. So after I've turned a handle, I could probably put the amount of shavings that I get off of turning a handle, I could probably compact that into a small, really small sandwich bag. That's about how much shavings, but it's just that it gets everywhere. It blows all over the place because it's so light. So that's the main issue that you have with it. But there's not a lot of waste comes off them. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little amount into this cup, which is going to become the black. So probably about maybe half the cup. And then I'm going to even mix, or thereabouts, these two. A little bit more. A little bit more. And that'll do us. So we'll have jungle green. Brett will like this one. Jungle green. I think we used this one once before though. So we're going to put jungle green in this one. Maybe a little bit more. So there we go with the jungle green. This one's going to be the purple. Just checking that you were awake there, Brett. Just checking that you were awake, mate. For those that don't know, Brett loves green. Everything is green. So that's the purple and the green. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of black in, carbon black, Pearl X, which will be more than enough for that. Is that green enough for you, Brett? Ah, you only just got A. Well, what you've missed a black and gold one, or 3 different coloured golds in black. Being cast. That's the one that we've got up here on the table at the moment. That's just come back out the pressure pot. So that's one that's been done for T-Man. So that's his custom casting, this one. We just finished another one where we had a couple of different coloured blues and gold. So that one's just gone in the pressure pot. And then we're on to this one, which is green, purple and black. And then I have one more to do, but I'm thinking that that one might have to wait. And I may do that one later on off camera, I think, because I'm going to have to play around with colours on that. We'll see how we go time wise. I just don't want to run too late. We're already at an hour and 41 and we're still going to pour this one yet, so I don't want to really go past the 2-hour mark, to be honest. So so there's the grind mixed. Now we'll do a bit of purple, or purple as it's called. This is a lovely colour. This, oh, Jesus. I mixed this with some wildfire before, and it sort of changed the colour, but this colour here now that you're seeing is just, when I look down on the top, it's absolutely beautiful. If I could get it to the, oh, I might be able to get it in the top down shot. Let me just see if I can get you in that shot there. Probably not too well, but you'll be able to see it there okay. So it probably looks a little bit more blue on the camera, but it's actually what they call purple. And then there's the grain. If I give it a stir first. So there's the grain. There's the purple. And then obviously we've got the black there as well. Timely reminder razor. Anthony, how are you, buddy? Bram, how are you, buddy? So we're doing a little bit of colour mixing and casting tonight, fellas. Not a lot. This is the third one that I've done. This one over here was the one we done earlier in the stream, which is another gold and black one for those that see me turning that handle a few streams back. This one should come out hopefully something similar to that one. That was cast earlier in the stream. It's still curing, it's still pretty hot. We've got another one in the pressure pot now. And then this one will be getting done, and it'll get put in the pressure pot as well. And I think that'll be us for tonight, once this one's poured. So just a little shorter stream tonight, a couple of hours will do us. It's only 3 castings we've done, but nice colour mix. And the final one I've got to do has got probably about half a dozen different colours in it, so I'm going to do that one offline, because I'm going to have to do a lot of playing around with the colour to get the different colours. Yeah, that's right, mate. We're only, I think, 3 off hitting the 90 mark now, so the more the merrier. I think as far as views on videos on YouTube, I think we hit the 3,500 a few days ago, and I think we're almost at the 4,000 or 4,500 now. So the views are starting to creep up slowly. Subscribers we're getting slowly. So yeah, it's starting to move. I think they tell you on YouTube getting past the 500 subscribers is just so tough and so hard. You've got to dig real deep to try and keep hanging in there. And then after that, it tends to pick up. But obviously, it's only going to pick up if your videos are, if people want to watch them, you know. So like I said, we'll mix it up a little bit on the channel. We won't just always do shaving brushes. We'll do a bit of casting, we'll do a bit of wood turning. I made a couple of pens in a stream some time ago. We'll probably do that again. Yeah, just mix it up a bit, you know. Have a play. Now all those brushes that I've been making over the last, well, God knows how many streams, all the ones for Sir Jan, and all the customer resin ones that we've done, I've finished some engraving on some of Sarjan's handles today. I will post a picture up in the Patreon page, a couple of pictures so you can see the engraving. It come up quite nice actually. So I'll show you that in the Patreon page. And all the handles, the resin handles and the wooden ones or the hybrid ones should all be on their way either tomorrow or it will be first thing Monday to Sarjan. So all those handles will be sent to Sarjan for fitting with these rhodium knots. So I think there's about, oh God, I think there's about 12, 13, 14 handles, somewhere around about there, that are all going to Sarjan to be fitted with rhodiums. So all well there. Hope he's ready for them. He should be. He knows they're coming. Yeah, I seen that, Anthony. I seen your post there, mate, saying that you were watching it for the 4th time or something. All good, buddy, all good. Thanks for putting me in touch with Raza as well, mate. He's kind of busy for the next couple of weeks, but he's going to come back to me then, and I says, look, mate, you fit it in when you can do it, and we'll take it from there. So I've sent him all the specs anyway, so he's got all that, so he knows what's going to be done. So that's all good. Yeah, Grey Dog's well, Grey Dog drinks coffee. I don't know if he actually makes the coffee. I know he drinks a lot of coffee. Amber, so Grey Dog's the man. Now the purple still feels a little bit thin. I don't feel any heat in either of them yet. So we've still got a little bit of time with these ones. Still fairly thin, not too thick at the moment. And the black one, like I said, I've always found black, mind you I did put a little bit more pigment in this one, but I've always found the black tends to stay fairly thin all the way through. So I just keep jumping between the cups, keep giving it a stir. More stirring doesn't hurt it. It lets me feel the consistency of the resin, and it's making sure that we've got the powder well mixed as well. Although these diamond powders tend to mix fairly quickly as well, a bit like the Pearl X's as far as how easily they mix into the resin. So I'm getting a little bit of warmth now in the purple, so not too much longer. Green still feels fairly cool. Okay. Yeah, we're getting closer. A little bit of warmth, still not too thick for me yet. Very good, Amber. Alright, I think we're getting there. Purple's probably dragging behind the green at the moment. And I think we're getting another sprinkle of rain, which is very welcomed. It has been a bit cooler all day today. Temperatures dropped a few degrees, but little sprinkle, but who knows what's in store for us tomorrow. I think, actually I think they were predicting rain for tomorrow. Okay, I think we're getting there now, ladies and gents. So just a little bit of time just to sit and settle there. Give the green a little bit of a mix. Yep, she's starting to warm. So we're going to start pouring. The green and the purple and the black. Keep the black stick for now. Okay, so next mould. Okay, here we go. And I'll get the stick out of the black because I will need the black shortly as well. It's starting to thicken. So I put a little bit more pigment in at that time just to help it along a little bit. Thicken it up, and that's made a bit of a difference in that. I'll hang on to that stick for now. And just a little bit of black here and there, just to change it up a little bit. A bit more purple. And a bit green. And I'm sort of mixing up how I'm pouring too. Sometimes I'm pouring just little light trickles in and, you know, swirling it around in the mould, and then other times I pour dollops in, and that just gives us a better throw of colour. One never knows what you're going to get once it starts to move around in the mould and cure. But it helps just give you a better blend, a better mix of colour when you don't stick to the one thing all the time. Well, that's what I find anyway. And we can see we're getting better colour separation now that the resin's starting to cure a bit more as well now. Getting a bit more heat in it. It's starting to just get to that point where it's going to start to gel. So we're getting to that point now where I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a helping hand to get the last of that out there now. And I'll do the same with the bar pull now. So we'll get the last of that out. And she's still pouring, so we're okay there. And I want to get all that colour out because it is a really nice colour, and I think even if it's heavier on the top in the purple, it's still going to give a nice effect. Oh. So there we go with that, and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit more of the black in just to top up the mould. And that'll do it, I think. So that can go in there, that can go in there, they can go in the bin. And we'll get rid of that. We'll release the pressure pot. Okay, release, release. And there's the blue and gold one. We'll put this one in now. And we'll get rid of this. Put that in there. Lid back on. Sorry guys, I've got yous off screen again. I'm just putting the pressure pot in. I'll put the mould, the resin in the pot. I'm just going to tighten the lid down. We'll put it back under pressure. And hopefully we'll have another handle that we can knock out of there either later tonight or tomorrow morning. So we'll just pump her back up to 50 psi. And that's us on 50 psi. So that's us, fellas, ladies and gents. Like I said, the other one's going to take a little bit more work. So if I can get them let me go to camera 2 for you. So that one was the blue and gold with the dark blue and the lighter blue mixed in it. And then we've got the gold there as well in that one. So that was the three colour one. Okay. And then this one here is that was the gold and black one that we done right at the beginning. So that had 4 colours. That was the 3 colour golds. 3 different golds that we used, and then the little bit of black drizzling down over the top section of the handle. So that should hopefully turn out quite nice, T-Man, I think. If you're still in there, T-Man, that's your one, buddy. And you know, we'll pop them out of the mould probably in the morning now. I'd say I'd probably leave it till the morning now. The resin's probably still a little bit soft on the bottom, but it's cured enough now that it doesn't have to be under pressure. And the same with this one. I mean, this one's really hot yet. This one's, well, that one's still got a fair bit of warmth in it, but it's starting to cool. Where this one's still generating a lot of heat yet. That's really, like, I couldn't grab that tight in my hand. It's quite hot. So we'll sit that one there. That'll be for tomorrow. What I'll probably do with that is once the video goes up, because it takes YouTube a while to render the video and post it up properly. So what I'll probably do is once it goes live, then I can edit, and what I'll do is I'll change the thumbnail, and I might put a picture up of these 3 blanks as the thumbnail for the video, and that way you'll get to see the blanks as blanks. And then our next stream now will be on Saturday mornings, so that we can accommodate our across the pond viewers, and we'll see how that pans out for a while now. Hopefully that'll go good, and maybe draw us in a few more viewers, and possibly get a few more subscribers, and we'll see how we go with that. And yeah, we'll just play it by ear and see how it all goes, eh? But I'll certainly try and do that. I'll try and do the thumbnail of these, and I'll post that up as the thumbnail for the video, for this casting video. Once the other one comes out of the pot, which will either be later tonight or I'll release it in the morning, and I'll take a picture of the 3 blanks side by side, and that'll be the thumbnail. So anybody got any questions? I mean, probably I haven't been sort of getting, once you're casting and you're waiting on that gel time, you kept pretty busy, but I just wanted to see if there was anybody with any questions that I can answer off the bat before I close the stream down. We've been going for 2 hours and 10. Yeah, I hope so, Sam. I just keep it, you know, I hope it keeps ticking along, keeps building, and you know, we get a half decent channel out of it with lots of people and lots of views and lots of subscribers. The Burple is the diamond brand as well, Amber. So I think that comes out of the States, I believe. So I'm not sure exactly where. I'm just looking to have a look on, see if it's got anything on the tub. No, the only thing I can see on it is it's a diamond product. That's the label. It's got like a cut diamond on the front of the pack, but they've got a fairly good range of colours, and they seem to be every bit as good, if not better, than Pearl X as well. Mix really easy like the Pearl X, but I think you've got diamond pigments, or somebody over there does the diamond colours, so you might be able to track them down somehow. Okay, and then of course you've got all your Pearl X's and whatever else, and Amber, just check out that JR resin or just resin, because you possibly can get them over in the States as well. I'm pretty sure it's a States based, and they obviously bring the stuff over here to sell it in Australia as well, I'd say. Okay. So I'm going to try and see at some stage as well. I mean, I should be buying, I've got to buy more resin. I've still got a fair few handles left in that drum yet. I will need to get another big drum of resin in, and so that we can continue to keep casting. But I do want to get the other video camera as well, so that we can get rid of that GoPro, because it's a pretty shitty shot, that GoPro. That's the GoPro there now that you're looking at, and it's pretty shitty. You know, you can't zoom in and out when you want to as well. When I've got the other cameras set up, I mean, I can zoom out, zoom in, you know, like, you know, if I go to that one, I can zoom out on that, I can zoom in on it quite easily, so it's ideal. Same if I go to the heads up one, I can zoom in, you know, zoom out. You can do all sorts of things with it, so you know, it's better, and the pictures are clearer, and it will keep the pictures all at the same light and contrast and everything else as well, same colour. But like I said, it's another 350 bucks, 380 bucks that I've got to spend to put another video camera in. So hopefully I'll get that sorted fairly soon though. Okay. So anyway, that's really it for tonight, ladies and gents. Thank you all very much again for dropping in the stream. Thank you to our over the pond friends that have dropped in for another stream. Much appreciated, Anthony and Grey Dog and Amber, and anybody else that's watching in. I'm not sure where Bram's from, and of course all our Aussie mates, aye, all around Australia. So once again, thanks very much. I'm going to shut the workshop door down again, and we'll see you all on Saturday morning. I will put another schedule up for Saturday morning. It possibly might be turning one or two of these handles, but we'll take that as it comes. And then once I get myself a little bit better organised, I've still got a few handles to knock out. Once I get that a little bit more organised, then I'm going to start putting a whole heap of scheduled streams in again. So I'll plan them out, you know, so we'll have pens, we might have a bottle opener, we might have a bowl, a soap pack bowl or whatever, you know. Oh, that's the other thing, if anybody's got a soap pack that's the standard size, I am looking for a soap pack that I can base my timber pack bowl on. So I just need to get the size. Either send me a pack if you've got one. If you don't have a pack that you know maybe not going to use, or it's an old one, as long as it's the standard size of a pack, and then I can make a bowl to suit that pack. Okay, we'll do that in a stream as well. We might decorate it or do something else on it a little bit different. So anyway, that's it from me. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you Saturday morning. Bye bye. See ya.